items before we get into this thing. We want to make mention of some stuff. First of all, I want to say some things here that we need to get to the bottom of as far as why we've been catching all this hell all these years for the past 300 and something years. And that is, when it comes to racism, we used to know that the Europeans used to worship us. You see, they used to worship us and all, you see. So what happened was, what we have been going through as far as the racism is a design for a society done by secret societies. So in so many words, and I learned about this when I was in Dr. Ben's mystery system. And so what we had to do is we still had to go through the same degrees as the regular Prince Hall Black Masons. And then, but also while we was doing that, we was putting back all of the Neteru and the Egyptian concepts. And so it was basically a workshop where we all brought something to the table. Now, one thing happened when we first crossed over, and this mystery system used to talk about this. They say when the European mystery system, because the Europeans, what they would do when they would cross over, the initiates would cross over and get their first degrees. What they would do that night is they would bring a black man into the lodge, blindfolded. And I don't know if they get him off the street or whatever they do, they would just bring a black man in the lodge, blindfolded, and it would say, "This is your father. Always hold him down. Always keep him down." So this is a mandate of the Masonic orders, the European Masonic orders. And for some reason, and I think it had something to do with, because all this stuff was designed by the Moors as far as bringing them into the Masonic aspect. Because we know that the Moors also started the Knights Templar and different things like that. So as a result, for some reason, they declared us the enemy. Now, the regular European or the regular person, especially in this country, that is not a part of a Masonic order, what has been happening to them is they have been given racist concepts about us and being made to think that they're their own. So when you had the whole the racist South, you had all these major events. There was always some people behind the scenes that was pulling the strings. So in so many words, we know even the Ku Klux Klan was founded by, what's the guy's name? The Anti-Defamation League, as well as Albert Pike. And Albert Pike used to be a Confederate general, you see, a Confederate general. And so, so there's always been this secret society. And what they would do here is that they would give the general white people in the society these racist views, which they wouldn't actually have if it wasn't for somebody pulling the strings. And I take, for instance, that's why when people would go up north and say, man, it's just this racist up north.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it means that there's always been some aspect that to keep us down by certain secret societies. And so they decreed us the enemy. So as a result, because why is that? Because they know ultimately that we're the original people. And the gods one day
something?
All those years. But the point about it is what was he? Who was he talking to when he was saying these notes on Virginia? Was he talking to the general public, or he was talking to the Masonic Brethren? And that's what the Masonic Brethren. So it has always been. So any of this racism, we just got to put this aside because there's certain amount of information that needs to be uncovered on how we find how things to be, why things are. You see, so into this particular stuff. It was a Masonic group, and several Masonic groups that was behind this to keep this thing going. So even today, when we think of we think ourselves free, and we think of all this, they're still designing institutional racism. You see what I'm saying? Or even the design to pit us against each other by Masonic orders. You see, by Masonic orders. So. But this has never been revealed. We just think that white people are generally racist in the society. No, this is a society that was designed for a certain purpose, to keep us down by not even a Mason, but a secret society, the unseen hand. So we've been hearing all this stuff about the secret societies and the Illuminati and all these things for maybe the last 20 years they've been going into this stuff. But the one thing that they don't ever tell us is the other part about that, the basis of this is always hold the black man down. And so we have reports of black men being abducted once a year, a couple of times a year, whatever, or whenever they have these large ceremonies. And they would actually hear, they would blindfold them, but they would actually hear them saying, "This is your father, always hold him down." And we learned this in the Dr. Ben's mystery system, when it was still going. You know, it defunct in 1994. I got in 1991. So I just wanted to clear that up because it goes to show how this stuff is still designed. So even there's certain things that's designed to this day. You see what I'm saying? Now, it might not be the overt racism, you see what I'm saying? But it's almost like one of the decrees is to see us as the enemy.